Baron's Crusade. When Theobald III died of a sudden illness 4 years later in 1201, while preparing to lead the Fourth Crusade, he left his widow Blanche of Navarre 9 months pregnant with their son Theobald IV, 1201–1253, born after his father's death. Blanche ruled Champagne as regent until Theobald IV turned 21 in 1222. With her regency completed, Blanche withdrew to the Cistercian convent of Argensales, whose foundation she had funded herself, for her retirement. Blanche's brother Sancho VII, who would join in the Battle of Las Navas de Tolosa in 1212, died in 1234. Their elder sister Berengaria, Queen of England, had died childless some years earlier. Thus the Kingdom of Navarre, though the crown was still claimed by the kings of Aragon, passed by marriage to the House of Champagne, firstly to the heirs of Blanche, who were simultaneously counts of Champagne and Brie. Theobald IV was also called the Troubadour, and many of his songs have survived, including some with music. He was Count of Champagne from birth and King of Navarre from 1234. The Jews, who played an important commercial role in the fairs, benefited most from the support of Blanche of Navarre, who had ruled Champagne as regent for Theobald IV from 1201 to 1222. Blanche was deeply in debt and therefore in need of the financial support of Jewish money lenders. She sided with the Jews against the church, insisting on their right to lend money. Although the Jewish badge was never enforced in Champagne, as it was elsewhere in France. 19 Theobald IV came into conflict with Louis VIII of France, 1223–1226, over the restrictive policies the new king tried to enforce on Jews in France. In his Établissement sur les Juifs of 1223, Louis VIII declared that interest on debts owed to Jews should no longer hold good, and should be inscribed and placed under the control of their lords, who would then collect the debts. 26 barons accepted Louis VIII's new measures, except Theobald IV, since he had an agreement with the Jews that guaranteed their safety in return for extra income through taxation. 20. Due to his disagreements with Louis VIII, during the siege of Avignon in 1226, as part of the Albigensian Crusade, Theobald IV put up a minimum show of support. The goal of the campaign had been the submission of Count Raymond VII of Toulouse, whose sister Constance was married to Sancho VII. The Chronicle of Tours blamed the failure of the assault on the treachery of Theobald IV of Champagne and Duke Peter I of Brittany, c. 1187–1250. 21 Strong rumors began to spread that Theobald IV was having an affair with Louis VIII's widow, the regent Blanche of Castile, for whom he composed a poetic homage. Blanche was the daughter of Alfonso VIII of Castile, the cousin of Blanche of Navarre. Roger of Wendover, d. 1236, the first chronicler to report the rumors about a love, claimed that Theobald IV, tormented by passion for the queen, tried to poison Louis VIII at the siege of Avignon. At the beginning of the regency of Louis VIII's widow, Blanche of Castile, Theobald abandoned a conspiracy against the king, which also included Peter I of Brittany and Hugh X of Lusignan, c. 1183–1249. 22 Hugh X's daughter Margaret de Lusignan married Raymond VII of Toulouse. Theobald IV initiated the Barons' Crusade of 1239, with Hugh IV, Duke of Burgundy, Peter I of Brittany, Amaury de Montfort and many other prominent nobles. Hugh IV married twice, first to Yolande de Dreux and then to Beatrice of Navarre, the daughter of Theobald IV and Margaret of Bourbon. Beatrice's siblings included Theobald II of Navarre and Henry I of Navarre. She is also known as Beatrix of Champagne. Theobald negotiated with the Ayyubids of Damascus and Egypt, who were at enemies of each other at the time, finalizing a treaty between them, whereby the Kingdom of Jerusalem regained Jerusalem itself, in addition to Bethlehem, Nazareth, and most of the region of Galilee with many Templar castles. 23. Although Theobald IV resisted the king's decree limiting Jewish lending, the prosperity enjoyed by the Jews of Champagne was challenged by the church, the king, and the local population. Finally, in 1268, Theobald's son and successor, Theobald V, 1239–1270, of Champagne, in conjunction with King Louis IX, confiscated all Jewish goods and Jewish loans in order to finance the new crusade. 24 In 1284, Champagne's only remaining heir, Countess Joan of Navarre, the great-granddaughter of Blanche of Navarre, married the future King Philip IV Le Bel, and Champagne was annexed to royal France. The massacre of 1288 in Troyes, as a result of a blood libel accusation against Isaac Chatelain, ended in the burning of 13 Jews and the confiscation of their property. Finally, in 1306, nearly 20,000 Jews were expelled from Champagne, together with all the Jews of France by Philip IV, who a year later would also arrest the Templars. 25. Philip IV's father was Louis IX, brother of Charles of Anjou. His mother was Isabella, sister of Alfonso X of Castile's wife Violent. Philip IV's wife was Joan I of Navarre. Joan's father a Henry III of Champagne, c. 1244-1274, the son of Theobald IV of Champagne, and her mother was Blanche of Artois, daughter of the then reigning King Louis IX of France's brother Count Robert I of Artois. Joan's brother, Theobald of Navarre, married Violent, the daughter of Alfonso X. 26 Violent's sister Beatrice was the mother of Denis I of Portugal, founder of the Order of Christ. Violent's brother was Sancho IV of Castile, whose daughter Isabella married James II of Aragon, founder of the Order of Montesa.